Hello all, this is Ryan Wiseman from awellfuture.com. With me as always is Marie Knapp, the content director here at AwellFuture. And we're here today to talk a little bit about a new product that we have in the AwellFuture ecosystem, which is a meaningful retirement guide. And so in the last little while, Marie and I have been looking at the content on the site, and if you're not familiar, we invite you to go to members.awellfuture.com and review the online membership course with a variety of health and wellness resources for you to explore and move through at your own pace. But as we've been working on the site for the last year or so, we've realized there's some more, I guess, targeted topics we'd like to touch on. And the first one we're going to tackle is that of retirement. And not, well, I'll let Marie get into this because it was sort of the place from which we come is that most resources we found both online and video and in book approach the retirement thing as really an economic situation, I suppose, and that's not our sort of philosophy or focus, and so we'll get to that in just a sec. So that's sort of it. The Meaningful Retirement Guide is a relatively short, inspirational, I think, sort of jumping off point for you to explore what a meaningful retirement means to you. So Marie, do you want to give us a little more background on the whole meaningful retirement and where the guide comes from and what kind of resources are included?
Sure. Well, I mean, the thing is, as Ryan says, we Googled, to see just what are the resources that are out there, and so much of what's out there is financial, and there's no question. I mean, the finances are important. When we look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs, I mean, a person has to have their basic needs met before they can move on to the other things. But when you're approaching retirement, you're at a stage of life where, depending on your age and how early you're selecting retirement, you're either looking at things that you want to be able to share with other people. You want to be doing things that are important and passing on, in a sense. You're passing on to other people what you've learned, what you've spent your lifetime learning. And that's really, really an important aspect of life. And to just suddenly cut that out because of retiring doesn't, I mean, it really removes that whole sense of meaning from it. Yep. There's no question about it. So we really feel that we need to take another look at retirement. We need to be able to look at it not just from the financial aspect. In fact, Ryan, I mean, you're too young to know this, but when you go to speak to someone who's a financial planner and you want to ask, well, let's plan around retirement, the question you're going to get is, what do you want to do in retirement?
I want to spend time at the cottage and travel the world, and
sure,
those are all financially anchored, I guess, items.
Yes, and they're also what people come up with first and foremost. But when we actually move into the stage of retirement, things have a different meaning when you're in the new place after retirement. I used to teach prenatal classes at one point way back. And we often found that it was easy to talk to people about the last stages of pregnancy and getting to the point of labor and that D-Day, delivery date, and people were so attentive. And it's sort of the same thing with retirement. You start talking about retirement and everybody's focused on how many days. I mean, we can talk to people in the workplace who are saying, I only have 5 years, 3 months, and how many weeks. And I'm thinking, gosh, a countdown from that far back, there's got to be something around meaning that's a connection with this. And when you ask people what they want to do, sometimes the big thing is, I don't want to work. Well, there's more to it than that. When you finish and you just sit there, you don't want to do nothing. So finding that sense of meaning. And of course, as you know, if anyone who goes onto the website and sees where I've had my focus of attention in my own work and studies, it's been focused on just that meaning in life, so it fits.
As far as the materials in the mini guide to meaningful retirement, Marie, what do we have available for people to take a look at?
Well, I guess what I'd like to say is, first of all, the materials that are on there, they don't really say retirement within them, because there are things that can be used at any stage of life and going through any transition, any time a person is wanting to move forward with something, but they apply to retirement very well. And so first of all, we have some videos, and one of the videos that's really important that a person can listen to is one that we prepared early in development of the AwellFuture website, and I think it's something that people will find very useful, and it's really based on the power of our thoughts. And so as we're moving forward, what we think has a big impact on what we feel. And there's also a workbook in there that I developed also, which goes through different processes of what a person's doing and how they can work with making each day a better day, so it can serve a person well pre-retirement as they're dealing with the different stages of moving to get to that stage, but certainly it can be very helpful after also, because it's a big change. Retirement is a huge change. I mean, we've got to face the fact that a lot of what's meaningful to us has to do with our relationships, and when we're in the work world, our connection with people is very much focused on those people we work with. We spend a lot of hours and after hours with that same group of people. When that's gone, then what? There's also the fact that the work we do may very well be meaningful work. It may not be, but it may be. And we find meaning in things not just with the actual work we're doing, but how that's serving other people. I mean, a person can find meaning in the work world that's in the lower paid segment around retail, and working with other people, because they're having interaction with people on a daily basis and they're helping make their life feel better. That has meaning. You could be serving coffee at Tim Hortons and get a lot of meaning because of the smile you give people, and you're helping them set their day off well, or any other of that kind of thing. So meaning comes from not necessarily having to produce a piece of work. Yep. It's got to do with what's happening on a day-to-day basis. We also have some articles about meaning and also about that same aspect. But there's also a couple of videos that we have, one with Wendy Roman and one with Angelique Benoit. Wendy's related to Nia and Angelique related to yoga. They're talking a lot about movement, which we know is an important part. I mean, again, when we change our life from retirement into non-retirement, we have to figure out what are we going to spend our time doing. Yeah. And so the movement is important. And we have some tips for retirement, just a list of tips. So I don't know if that helps.
I think so. Not much great information on financial planning, but as we said, there's a wealth of resources out there to tackle that one. So yes. Finding meaning and just finding out what you're going to do with your time in retirement, to make the most of it is, I guess, the approach.
Yes.
Thank you, Marie, for a little bit more background on the Meaningful Retirement Guide. If you want to find out more information, you can do so at awellfuture.com/retire. I'll put the URL right here. And that page will have a little bit more information about the course and an opportunity to purchase. The mini guide price is $9, and we wanted to make it easily accessible to all.
There's important information in here, and that's right.
Yeah, $9 isn't to diminish the quality of information; it's to make it widely available, because we think it's a necessity, really, to have some of this meaning and what am I doing in retirement, planning opportunity and guidance out there in a world which is largely focused on reverse chip and RRSP. We don't understand that one. We're more the meaning kind of folks. Right. So awellfuture.com/retire for more information, and you can pay there with PayPal or a credit card. And if you find this information interesting, you may also like to explore the greater membership options at awellfuture.com.
Right.
Thanks for watching.